Live from Independence Tiger Stadium on the campus of Independence High School, you're watching high school football on Florida Parish's television, Channel 17. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Willoughby, and joining me tonight in place of the venerable Marty Morgan is Chase Tidwell. Marty taking the night off, and Chase, good to have you aboard here tonight.
Well, thanks for having me aboard. I really enjoy coming out and doing these high school games, especially coming here to Independence. Get to watch a good team every Friday night, and really excited for the game tonight, Mark.
Well, tonight the Live Oak Eagles invade Tiger Stadium. It's homecoming here in Independence. Also senior night as the football players were announced before the captains are on the field, and a festive night for all involved. The homecoming court was announced before the game, and we'll bring you that ceremony at halftime here at Tiger Stadium. The game tonight features two teams going in opposite directions. Chase, Independence leading the district with a 7-1 mark. They're 2-0 overall. Live Oak is 3-5, 1-1 in district play, and the Eagles want to come in here tonight, try to steal a win, and perhaps take a second place or keep themselves in shape for second place, especially the big battle with A-Meet next week.
Yeah, right now Independence is definitely in control. I think they clinched last weekend, and they want to come in and get tuned up for the playoffs. They got 2 weeks to get ready for the playoffs, and Live Oak's still battling hard for that second playoff position right now.
We're going to take a break and come back with the opening kickoff. You're watching Florida Parish's television, Channel 17. Mark Willoughby and Chase Tidwell back live from Tiger Stadium in Independence. We are set to do battle between the Live Oak Eagles and the Fighting Tigers of Independence High School. And again, Independence has already clinched at least a share for the district title in District 8-3A, and they will represent the district as the #1 representative. Live Oak trying to still battle for a playoff berth. They are mathematically alive. A win tonight and a win next week would guarantee them first place, actually, in district play, and or actually would not guarantee them first place, but it would guarantee them a tie for first place. And this is a big ball game here tonight for Independence. And kicking off for the Tigers, as Live Oak has won the toss, will be Antron Sieber, and deep to receive for the Eagles will be #2, Jeff Bourgeois. So the Tigers will be on defense first. Live Oak will have the ball moving from left to right. Chase, your thoughts before we start the ball game?
Well, I'm anxious to see. I know Coach Baggs is wanting to get them final tune-ups ready for the playoffs. They're expected to win here and really don't need a letdown.
As Bourgeois takes the kick from his goal line out to about the 15-yard line where he stopped, and the Eagles will have it first down and 10. We'll set the starting lineups for you as we go along here for the Live Oak Eagles and the Independence Tigers. Live Oak will start it this way. Up front, Big Cody Tigner, 6'3", 250, leads that offensive line. Also, number 72, Shane Friedman, up front for the Eagles. Also, big number 60 in there is James Simpson along the offensive front. Tigers led by Antoine Smith. The defensive end, Derek Hunter, Sean Tanner, and David Copeland up front. Will set the rest of them momentarily. Here's a give. Quarterback keeper. He stopped for no gain as he looked like he missed a handoff there and ran into no man's land, and he'll be stopped for nothing. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, Mark, that really looked like a busted play right there. It looked like he might have turned the wrong way, and the running back went the other way, and he just tried to follow up in a hole he thought it was going in, and the Tigers come up with a stop.
So it'll be a loss of about a half a yard. It'll bring up second down and a long 10. Brad Booth is your quarterback for the Live Oak Eagles. He's a 6-foot freshman. So Coach Curtis Varnado very excited about him as getting a start in his first year of varsity football. Also in the ball game, Darren Bennett will be your split end. Also number 40 is Tim Winters, your tailback. He'll get the football, toss left side, and he'll be corralled and stopped for no gain by Copeland. And it looked like off the snap of the football, Chase, the Winters might have had some running room, but the speed and pursuit of David Copeland just too much to handle.
Yeah, he come from a strong safety position right there and just ran him down to the sideline and tackled him for no gain, brings up third down and long for the Eagles.
And that is speed that will kill you. David Copeland, who is outstanding, very quick, runs a 4.7 40 on a 6'1", 215-pound frame, and he is an outstanding player defensively for the Independence Tigers. as the Eagles will come up 3rd down and 10. They'll have 2 receivers split, 1 back in the backfield. And jumping across the line of scrimmage a little prematurely is big number 59, Sean Tanner, who jumped a little before the snap count. We'll see if he was drawn off or if he was offsides. Officials will huddle, and looks like it's going to be offsides against the Tigers. We'll wait and see. That will be the call. So they'll be penalized 5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, they went with the long, hard count right there. Live Oak did, and trying to draw the Tigers off sides, and 3rd and 5 is a lot easier to make than 3rd and 10, Mark.
No question about it, especially against a very tough and speedy Independence defense. Other games around the area tonight, Amite and Franklinton doing battle over in Washington Parish. Very much anticipated ball game. Also Hammond hosting Brother Martin. Here's an inside trap going nowhere as Gerald Franklin stuffs it up for no gain. And the Tigers will get the football as Live Oak will have to punt it away. And that went nowhere. That was Winters on the carry, and Independence defense has come to play here tonight.
Yeah, they had 8 in the box right there. There's a passing down, but they tried a little in trap play coming through, and got stuffed up for no gain. 4th and 5, and the Tigers going to get the ball, Mark.
So Otto Bonds will be deep to receive for the Tigers, standing around his 48-yard line, and doing the punting for the Eagles will be Darren Bennett. Tigers set to go on offense for the first time tonight, 9 minutes and 28 seconds, and the Tigers jump off sides, and we may have spoke prematurely, Chase. That should give Live Oak a 1st down.
Yeah, they did it again. That Tiger defensive line is pretty jumpy right now. I don't know if they had the block on or a return on right there, but by the way it looks, they had the block on, and they draw them off sides again, and 1st down Eagles.
And I know Sammy Messina is livid on the sidelines. He preaches discipline, and that's just a lack of concentration there, especially on a punt. 4th and 5, all you got to do is just watch the football, and Tigers a little premature there, jumping off sides, giving Live Oak a 1st down. So 9:11 to play in the first quarter and counting. Tigers with a 5-man look. Here's a straight handoff. Running room is Winters. He'll pound away for about 6 on the play. So the Tigers giving a bubble in the middle there. And actually that was number 32, Frank Abity, on the carry, brought down from behind by Sean Tanner.
Yeah, Abity really made a strong run right there. Just a little quick hit off left tackle right there. And it looks like it picked up about 5.
So Live Oak eating up the first 4 or 5 minutes of this first quarter clock, and that's something I know Curtis Varnado would love to do, is eat as much of that clock and keep Independence off the field as much as possible and keep the score down, and that'll give his team a chance to win the ball game. Here is a give straight ahead to the fullback, and he'll push ahead for about 2 or 3 more, and that's just strong running there and determination by number 35 for the Eagles, and that looks like Adam King. So he'll be about 1.5 yards to 2 yards short of the 1st down, and it'll bring up another big 3rd down situation. Look for Live Oak to go on another hard count here.
Yeah, right there, King went, there was the same exact play, but they're running on the right side this time, and it looked like he got tripped up and fell down, and they got about 3rd and 2 right here, Mark.
The big thing you want to guard against on homecoming night, Chase, is lack of emotion, and right now the Tiger sidelines a little bit flat. And they want a big defensive stop here. Quarterback sneak, and getting the 1st down will be Brad Booth. So Live Oak marching the football here, started at their own 15, have knocked it out to about the 37. And they have yet another 1st down. Independence yet to touch the football, and we're halfway through the first quarter.
Yeah, Live Oak's not doing anything real spectacular or real pretty, but they're moving the chains. Got it on a hard count. They're just doing it any way they can and trying to keep the ball out of Antron Sieber and company's hands right now.
And they're doing an outstanding job of just that here in this early going of the ball game. Booth under center. Turn, he'll hand on the inside trap, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on the carry, but a flag has been thrown, and that will either be some type of hold or something. We'll have to see, and it'll be holding against Live Oak, and they'll be penalized 10 yards. So again, Live Oak able to get a pretty good push up front and got 4 on the play, but the hold will negate that run there by the Live Oak Eagles.
Yeah, that's not good for the Eagles because it's backing it up 10 yards, and they're not getting but 3 or 4 yards of carry anyway. Haven't attempted a pass yet, but we may see their first passing attempt right here, Mark.
Again, Live Oak with a freshman quarterback in the ball game, and Curtis Varnado, who is the head coach of Live Oak. He's been several different places among his prep career. Once coached at Catholic High in Baton Rouge, coached at Albany back in the early 80s, also Clinton High School. He's been around and a veteran of Louisiana prep football. Once again, a full house backfield power eye look for the Eagles, and the Tigers jump again. And this time the tight end for Live Oak looked like he moved before the snap, and we'll see who they say jumped first. And they're going to say Independence did, and again, that's just lack of concentration on the part of the Tigers, especially the nose guard. He's looking right at the football, Chase, and there's no excuse for jumping off sides.
You're exactly right. There's no excuse for that. You can see doing it once, first, but twice. That's 3 times now for the Independence defense, and they just need to take a deep breath and relax and wait for the ball to be snapped and react.
So Live Oak, the benefactor of 3 penalties here from the Tigers. Here's a toss sweep. This will go nowhere. A loss in the backfield. Derek Hunter and look like Charles Tofield coming up from the strong safety position, and that'll be a loss on the play of about 2. It'll bring up second down and call it 17.
Now, Tofield did a real good job right there coming off his corner position. He shucked the block and come up and tackle him for about a loss of 3. Brings up about a second and 18 or 19.
So 5:45 and counting. Tigers have yet to run an offensive play. And Live Oak has, to be honest with you, Chase, has only marched the football 15 yards, and I've already run off over half the first quarter. Booth, a long snap count, calls for it, back to throw, fires it up, and this is incomplete. Intended for number 23, that is Jason Williams, and the pass was woefully overthrown. And it'll bring up third down and 17, and the Tigers will perhaps bring in that dime package.
Yeah, right there, it looked like number 23, Jason Williams, right there, cut his route short a little bit. He was at a complete stop when the ball sailed over his head, and if he'd have kept going, he might have had a chance to make the catch there. But it brings up third and very long for the Eagles, and they got to come up with something right here.
So just where Curtis Varnado did not want to be is third and long. Third down and 17 for Live Oak. And this will be a straight handoff for about 2 or 3 yards to number 35, Adam King. And the Tigers stiffen, and the Eagles will have to punt it away, or assumingly so, punt it away once again. 5:10 to play in the first quarter. Beautiful night for football here at Independence. Temperature hovering around 60, 65 degrees. Not a wind to speak of, and just a very comfortable night all around. Steve Efferson will punt for Live Oak. Otto Bonds deep to receive. Here is the kick. It's blocked. Tigers pick it up. That's Gerald Franklin, and it'll be down at the 17-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will have it. First down and 10 as Charles Tofield came unmolested for the block. Chase Tidwell.
Yeah, he was lined up on the left end right there, and there was actually 2 of them. Him and number 90, Antron Smith, were both right there, and Tofield just beat Smith to the ball right there and got a block. Neither one of them were really touched. Neither one of them could have blocked the punt, but that gives the Tigers good field position.
For the Tigers with a football for the first time tonight, led by that sophomore-dominated offensive line, who've done a well of a job the last few weeks. Antron Sieber will call for the football, play action pass, fires it incomplete right through the hands of Jeremy Cooper. And ball right to him, and Cooper just apparently, Chase didn't get a good beat on the football, and it went right through his hands.
Yeah, it was up a little bit, but that's the ball he has to make a catch on. It was thrown pretty hard, pretty good pass, but right through his hands, and second and 10 for the Tigers as they come out gunning.
It'll bring up second down and 10 as the pass falls incomplete. And in the backfield at tailback is Jarvis Dunn for the Tigers, and Brandon Dawson is at fullback. Here is the straight handoff to Dawson, powering his way inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. Looks like a first down for the Tigers. Looked like number 11, Steve Drayton, and Shane Landry on the carry for the Eagles. So Dawson on the give has the first down for Independence. It'll be first and goal from about the 6-yard line.
That was just an option to the right, and Seaver stuck it in Dawson's belly, and the end didn't bite, so he just left it there and got a nice run. First and goal, Tigers.
And for most Tiger fans who are seeing Jarvis Dunn in the ball game tonight, he is a good-looking sophomore for the Tigers. Had a whale of a junior varsity game on Wednesday against Hammond High, and he's getting a chance to play here tonight in his first extended varsity action. Here is Dawson again, straight handoff, and he'll power his way in to the end zone for the Tiger touchdown. Was met by Adam King at the goal line, but he ran over him, took it into the end zone. Tigers on the board, 6-0 here in the early going.
Same exact play to the left this time, Mark. And he lumbered his way into the end zone, running really hard. You're right, he ran over King at the goal line, and Seaver's going to line up for the BAT.
And a new look for the Tigers, Chase, as they have been running the veer option all year, but they've been running it with just one back in the backfield. And it was either give or pitch, but now they line Dunn up back there, so it gives them one more option to go to on the veer. Here's Sieber for the extra point. It's up and no good. He pushed it off to the right. And the Tigers lead it by a score of 6-0 with 3:48 to play. The scoreboard here is not operable. As far as the score goes, the clock works, but we're going to have to keep up with it in our heads here tonight as the Tigers lead it 6-0.
Yeah, that was a pretty simple drive right there for Tigers. They got the ball in good field position. Tried to break it open with a pass play on first down, and then just ran two options. Gave it to Dawson out of the fullback position 2 times, and he took care of the rest of it.
So Sieber will kick it off again for Independence as we Chase, as we get a chance, let's talk about some of the sponsors who are so grateful to sponsor high school football here in Florida Parish's television. And for that, we'll hand it over to Speck McClendon.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works in Independence, Louisiana. Let Mike get you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. That's Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence.
Sieber, a big foot into it, driving the Live Oak. That's Bourgeois into the end zone as it crosses the goal line. Bourgeois mishandled it. Ball goes into the end zone, and the Eagles will have it first and 10 at the 20. And Chase, let's talk about Independence offensively, led by a sophomore-dominated offensive line. And I know Coach Baggs and company, Keith Corona, the offensive coordinator, are very excited, not only this year but for years to come with that big offensive front.
How can they not be? They've done a heck of a job this year. You know, people wonder about a young offensive line, how they're going to react, how they're going to do that. But when you got people like Siever and Dawson and Brandon Tofield hanging around practice all the time, it really helps them youngsters out, and they've done a well of a job.
And we'll talk about those offensive linemen coming up as the game progresses. Antoine Smith on a big hit of Luke Butler, I believe, on the toss sweep. He got about a yard, but there was big A.J. Smith there to meet him, and what a player Antoine Smith is.
Yeah, he really is. And he's a total package, too. Good student, good player, and a good kid. And I know Coach Baggs' company is going to hate to see him go next year.
Something else a lot of folks out there who follow Independence aren't aware of, A.J. is only just turned 17 years old, so he's a very young senior and has a lot of growth ahead of him. If you've ever seen his father, he is a mountain of a man, and I know a lot of colleges very interested in A.J. Smith. He'll have a chance to play on the next level, no question about it. As the back goes the wrong way, here's the option pitch, and stopped in the backfield, I believe, was number 12, Luke Butler, stopped for a loss of about 3 yards. And Otto Bonds on the tackle snuffed it out.
Yeah, that play looked like it was doomed from the start. The quarterback went to stick it in the fullback's belly, and the fullback went the wrong way. But he went ahead and pitched it, and Otto Bonds came up and tackled him for a loss of about 5, and it's 3rd and 13 for the Eagles right now.
So Live Oak doing what they feared the most, and that is go backwards against this Independence defense. And Chase, very tough to run on the perimeter of a speedy and quick defense. And that's what the Eagles are trying here. Here's a 3-step drop on the fade. The pass is knocked away and complete. intended for Darren Bennett, but there on the coverage was Charles Tofield, and the Eagles will have to punt it again. 2:08 to play in the first quarter.
Booth really made a pretty good throw right there. It was incomplete, rather, and he put it in a place where only his receiver could catch it, and Tofield did a good job of batting it out of his hands at the last second.
So Otto Bonds will stand around his 50-yard line and get set to receive this punt from Steve Efferson. Tigers with 10 at the line of scrimmage. They blocked the last one. Charles Tofield got a hand on it. Let's see if they come after this one. They do. Kick is away and blocked again. Tigers will have this one for a touchdown. Charles Tofield catches it in midair, and not only does he block the first one, he gets a hand on the second one and catches it for the touchdown.
Mark, I'm not sure he got a hand on that. What that looked like to me is the punter Everson kicked it right into his own man, Sam King, number 35. And the ball went up in the air, and Tofield caught it and ran into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
So the Tigers have their second touchdown of the ball game, and the Tiger offense will come on the field. Looks like they'll go for two here and try to even up the score after the missed extra point on the first touchdown. So homecoming here tonight, and so far so good for Tiger faithful.
Yeah, two quick scores. They didn't even get the ball with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and they've already scored two touchdowns in about 2 minutes.
Here's Sieber on a 5-step drop slant to Joseph is complete for the 2-point conversion. And the Tigers, with 2:08 to play in the first quarter, lead this one by a score of 14-0. Here's Speck McClendon with some more of our sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC. People's Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Kentwood, Amite, Greensburg, Franklinton, and a new office now open in Hammond. That's People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence.
So the Tigers, who started out a little bit, I don't know if you want to call it flat, but they jumped off sides 3 times in the Live Oaks first drive, giving them a couple of first downs, but since then they have stiffened, and the defense has been stifling. They have 2 touchdowns on the board, and it looks like they're on a roll here tonight.
Yeah, special teams has really done a thing for them tonight. Live Oaks punted twice, and they blocked it twice, and did it for 2 touchdowns.
Here's a reverse, and being hammered is number 32, Frank Abity, as Live Oak tried a little bit of trickery there on the, what they do is they'll stack up and run a reverse. Abity carried it, and he was hammered by Charles Tofield on the tackle. And again, Live Oak, poor field position starting at their 17. And Chase, that's been the case their first 3 possessions here tonight.
Yeah, it's been totally played on their end of the field, and they'd like to get the ball down past midfield and make that Independence offense drive more than 25 yards tonight.
So 2 minutes exactly to play here in the first quarter. Tigers lead it 14-0. Again, power I formation for the Live Oak Eagles. Here's a straight give to the fullback. He has not much running room, maybe a yard. Stopped by Kenny Lands for the Tigers. And others, also Hunter and Tanner, and also Phil Tador, a big senior linebacker for the Tigers. That was Abity on the carry. Give him 2, maybe 3 yards. It'll bring up second down and long.
Now, right now, Live Oak's offense isn't too diversified. They run that same fullback dive 5 or 6 times already tonight, and maybe they're just trying to lull them to sleep and try to hit something outside, Mark.
Second down, a long 7, and again, a give up the middle, going for about a yard or 2 is Luke Butler, and he'll have maybe a couple on the play. Also on the tackle for the Tigers is Gerald Franklin, a little bit gimpy, hobbling and getting up, and also Phil Tador on the tackle. So it'll bring up third down, and let's call it 6 from about the 22, and again, Live Oak finds themselves in 3rd and long.
Yeah, they do. They run 2 pretty quick hitting plays right up the middle, and that Independence defense is just too good. That's not going to work if you run it every time.
So 3rd down and 6. Here's Booth on the inside trap. He'll keep it himself, and he'll get about 2 or 3 yards, but not enough for the first down. Stopped by Lionel Joseph Correction, that's Ryan Joseph. And Gerald Franklin, I should say, and also Kenny Lands on the stop, and that will bring up a 4th down and 4. So Booth able to get a couple, but that's about it.
That was really a pretty good looking play from the start. Looked like Booth had some running room around right in there, but started stutter stepping and tried to cut it back up inside, and that's where the mouth of that Tiger defense was.
So this time Lionel Joseph will drop deep to receive the punt, as the Eagles will let the clock run out. That will be the final play of the first quarter with your score: Independence 14 and Live Oak nothing. Again, here's Speck McClendon with some of our sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Mike's Grass and Radiator Works. Let Mike get you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. It's Mike's Grass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence. Tonight's game brought to you in part by the Amite Cinema. For movies and showtimes, phone 748-8114. Amite Cinema, located off Highway 16 in Amite in the Tangelina Village Shopping Center. Movies and showtimes, 748-8114.
Congratulations to Ashley Harrison, who is the cheerleader of the week here at Independence High School. Mark Willoughby, Chase Tidwell, Speck McClendon, and Garrett Crawford with you here from Tiger Stadium. Independence leading by a score of 14-0. And Lionel Joseph will stand at the Live Oak 47. Here's a fake on the punt. This will be a first down as Booth has it on the fake punt. So Curtis Varnado pulling out all the stops tonight and fakes the punt deep in his own territory. And really, Chase, if you had 2 punts blocked already, what do you have to lose?
You have absolutely nothing to lose, and that was a pretty good call right there. And it was great execution by the offensive line of Live Oak. And Booth just kind of run it up inside there and picked up about 6 and got him a first down.
So, Chase, if you're a statistic freak in this ball game, Live Oak has 3 first downs, Independence just 1. But Independence leads on the scoreboard 14-0. So first down and 10 for the Eagles, ball resting at the 30-yard line. Here's Booth on the straight give. Nothing is going to be gained by number 12. That's Butler. Luke Butler hits the front of the interior of that Independence defensive front. Sean Tanner and company. Also Ryan Joseph on the tackle. And Derek Hunter there to greet him, and just not much running room, and that's been the case all night long.
Now right now, Live Oak can show no passing threat at all, so the Tigers have got 8 in the box, 9 in the box sometimes, bringing Washington up there, and they're just going to stop that run tonight and make them beat them deep with those 2 good cornerbacks they got.
Live Oak just content to let that clock run. You're not going to see the ball in the air very much. And again, this is Ezra Spurlock, jumps across, and that's just lack of concentration, Chase. And Spurlock, it doesn't play much for the Tigers, getting a chance, and right there, instead of reading the football, which is right in front of his face, he jumps on the quarterback cadence, and they jump off sides once again.
Yeah, you said it, Mark. You don't get to play much, and he's in there trying to earn some playing time for the rest of the regular season and the playoffs. And maybe he's just too excited, needs to calm down a little bit, but that is just a little bit of lack of discipline and not concentrating right there.
So Sean Tanner back in at nose for the Tigers. It'll be second down and 4, and here's a straight give for about 4 or 5 yards, and that will be Frank Abity on the carry, and Live Oak has yet another first down. They're moving the chains, and they'll do this. They're just trying to keep the score down, Chase, and that's something. For them, if they come out of this losing by a low score, that's a win for them.
Yeah, and it also gives them something to build on, you know. Right now, Mark, they're dominating, really statistically, rushing and everything else. They're ahead of Independence right now in about every aspect except for the one that counts, and that's the scoreboard. And as they measure for a first down, it's going to be pretty close. And it is a first down.
And that will be a first down for the Eagles, and they have found a little bit of running room in the interior, really over the guards more than anything, and they have been able to get a couple of pretty good gainers inside. So 10:24 and counting. Tigers have only run 2 offensive plays in this entire first half, and that is something that you want to keep that defense off the field as much as you can. Here is a first down play on the give. And getting ahead for about, 3 or 4 yards is Luke Butler, and he'll be stopped on the play. It looks like Sean Tanner on the tackle, also Gerald Franklin on the play.
Now, right now, those Live Oak running backs are really running hard. They're earning their 3 or 4 yards to carry with Abedy and Butler. They're running hard, Mark, and getting up there. And he picked up about 4 yards right there on that play and carried a couple defenders with him.
Going to bring up second down and about 7 for the first down for Live Oak. Booth, the freshman, has done a nice job running this offense. He'll be an inside trap, hitting the backfield, stop for a loss. Is number 40, Tim Winters, and he is hit by a host of Tigers, and we try to unstack the pile and see who made the hit. Franklin and company on the tackle. Gerald Franklin playing a whale of a first half, along with Antoine Smith and Sean Tanner. So it'll bring up third down and 8 on the loss of 1. Tigers on top of this one, 14-0. But Live Oak has had the football all but 2 plays in this first half. This is Booth on the option. He's hit for a loss of about 3. And that's Antoine Smith. Or actually, that's Ryan Joseph, I should say, on the tackle. Also Tanner. So Live Oak will trot out. Let's see if they get another punt off. They have yet to get one off successfully here tonight.
Yeah, their punt formation has got 2 blocks and a first down, so we don't know what we're going to see right here. And I bet they punt this time, Mark.
Well, fourth down and 9, you would think so, but Otto Bonds will stand around his 30. And Efferson will drop deep to punt. Tigers will drop off this time, and they're going to play a normal defense look here. Here's the snap to Efferson. He'll put a foot into it. Pretty good punt. This will be Bonds from the 25. Reverses field, gets a nice block from Mike Washington, but he'll be hauled down at the 22-yard line. So outstanding punt coverage by Luke Butler, and the Eagles have the Tigers backed up in their own territory at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, the Live Oak special teams right there did a good job of covering that punt. They finally get one off, and Otto Bonds actually lost ground when he caught the ball. He lost about 3 yards from where he caught it. And went left, tried to reverse field, and just run out of room.
I don't know if you got a chance to see it on camera or not, but Mike Washington had an outstanding block against one of the Live Oak defenders. Tigers come out I formation. That's done at tailback. This will be Dawson again, straight ahead. He'll have 5 yards, maybe 6, and he'll be stacked up there at about the 27, giving 5 on the carry. That is number 35, Adam King, on the tackle for Live Oak. 7.5 minutes to play here in the first half. A rapidly played first half, I might add. Second down and 5, Sieber under center. Calls for it, takes a 3-step drop, firing it. This is complete to Cooper, I believe, or is that Matt Jones? I think that's Jones. That'll be good enough for the first down, so Matt Jones making the reception. Tim Winters on the tackle. Tigers move the chains on the completion. And right there, Sieber put it right on the money.
Yeah, that's just a perfectly executed pass and throw and route. Good out route. Sieber throws the out route real well. He's got a strong arm, and he throws the out route as good as any high school quarterback I've seen.
Tigers have it 1st and 10, ball nudging the 36-yard line. Live Oak has no free safety in the ball game. Here's Sieber. Gets away from trouble. Looks to run the football, now does, and is hit from behind, but picks up about 5 or 6. And that's Luke Butler on the tackle, as Sieber just looked like he was running, looked like he was really toying with the Live Oak defenders, and the foot speed of Antoine Sieber, who's on a gimpy ankle, injured himself last week against Franklinton, but he showed a lot of speed there, Chase.
Yeah, he's just outran the whole defensive front of Live Oak, but you got to give Live Oak secondary credit right there. They Independence sent out 4 receivers, and Sieber couldn't find one open and had to tuck it under and run. He picked up about 6 yards.
I don't know if you could see it on camera or not, but Live Oak had no free safety in the ball game, and if I know Keith Corona, offensive coordinator for Independence, he's going to spot that, and I'm sure they'll have one by the next time Independence has the football.
Yeah, you're right, because they're going to hit some patterns down deep in the middle there and probably just eat up that defense if they're going to keep on playing with no free safety.
Score Independence 14, Live Oak nothing, 6:19 to play. Let's take a timeout. Back after this, you're watching Florida Parishes Television, Channel 17. Willoughby, Chase Tidwell back with you from Tiger Stadium. Tigers lead at 14-0, second down and 3 as Sieber looks over the Live Oak defense, 9 men in the box. Here is a give. This is Dawson. He has nothing as he stopped, and it looked like there Sieber, Chase might have been better off keeping the football as he was stopped by Leverton or Efferson, I believe, on the tackle. So it'll bring up third down and 3 as there was no gain by Dawson on the play.
Yeah, but every time Dawson's got that ball on the option, he's picked up at least 6-7 yards and has about a 15-yard run and an 11-yard run also. And I guess Sieber just thought, what the heck, don't fix it if it's not broken, sort of thing.
So third down and 3, and again, Live Oak, 9 men in the box. Sieber straight drops, fires, complete. Cooper, first down, shakes a tackle, and into Live Oak territory as he stopped on the play. It looked like that was Jeff Bourgeois on the tackle. And Cooper, who is the tight end, a lot of times Chase, he'll flex out, and he has very good hands and pretty good speed.
Yeah, he was flexed out there in the slot right, and I just ran a little 3-yard out, and caught the ball, already had a first down, and got about 2 or 3 more yards, and they got the ball on the Live Oak end of the field.
So first down, Tigers, ball at the Live Oak 48. Here is Sieber on the option keep. He has first down yardage. He'll take this one all the way for the touchdown. Antron Sieber, 48 yards of the Tiger touchdown, but we have a flag at the 27-yard line. This one's going to come back.
Yeah, probably got I didn't see the preliminary call, probably a block in a back clip, but that was a nice play right there, and Sieber's just too fast. He just outran the defense right there. It wasn't anybody within 15 yards of him when he hit the end zone.
And I can tell you, if there was a penalty, it was inconsequential because Sieber was, as soon as he turned the corner, it was a foregone conclusion he was going to score a touchdown. So if there was a block in the back or a hold or whatever, it didn't affect the play. But nonetheless, it'll come back and it'll set up a first down and 4 for the Tigers at the 42-yard line. So Sieber will have to do it again.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know who got caught on the penalty there, but really it was I don't know if it was an unnecessary penalty. It might have been on an accident. Sometimes that happens. You run into somebody in the back, and but the Tigers still have the ball and going to march down and try to score again.
So first down and 3. This will be Jarvis Dunn on the carry, and he runs over one defender and is close to a first down. Stopped on the play by number 68, and that's Cody Como. And looks like Dunn may be a hair short. We'll see. He'll call it a first down as the referee signals first down for the Tigers, and the ball will be spotted at the 39-yard line. 4:53 to play here in the first half, and this is probably one of the fastest halves I can remember. We're just 38 minutes into this ball game. Sieber gives Dawson. He has nothing on the play. Stops at the line of scrimmage. That's Como on the tackle, and that'll be second down and 10. So they're doing a pretty good job, Chase, of taking Dawson away after his 2 quick runs and his first touchdown.
Yeah, they have made that adjustment very well. The Live Oak coaching staff and their defensive front has, but it's kind of a pick your poison type of deal with Independence. You go to stopping that big bruiser up the middle, they're going to hit you with that lightning around the end, and we'll see if they can stop both of them now.
Second down and 10. Here's Sieber. He'll waggle to the left, looking, fires it, and incomplete, or it's complete. That'll be a catch by Dawson, and Sieber just really, Chase, just not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to just touch it out there to Dawson, but led him too far. But Dawson one heck of a catch to pick up yardage that time.
Yeah, it looked like he grabbed it with one hand, juggled it around while he was on his knees, and came down with it and tucked it away right before his body hit the ground. It was a nice catch. And it really wasn't that bad of a throw. It just kind of led him too much, but it really was a nice catch by Dawson.
The Tigers coming out with a completely different offensive look here tonight with Dawson at fullback and Dunn at tailback, and timeout by Independence here. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Chase, you got to think Independence here just trying to work on some things for the playoffs coming up. They're definitely in, and they're just trying to work on some offensive packages that they may be able to use in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and not to mention, you know, these coaches that might meet in the first 2 or 3 rounds of the playoffs are seeing this new offensive backfield. Give them something else to think about, and you never know when somebody may go down to injury. You know, especially in these last 2 games of the year. You got a district game tonight, and then I believe a non-district game next week. And you gotta get other people ready to play. You got that sophomore back there in the backfield, and he could become important to Independence's title hopes.
And Chase, Jarvis Dunn, certainly a very capable back, and getting his first extended opportunities to run the football. They have another sophomore tailback by the name of Gerald Williams, who was also extremely impressive in that JV game against Hammond on Wednesday night. This will be Sieber on the play-action fake, looking, firing. This will be incomplete as he overthrows Lionel Joseph. And right there, Joseph was wide open, and Chase, the ball's a little bit high, but it looked like Joseph jumped a little too soon that time.
Yeah, he just mistimed his jump. He was kind of moving and looked like he might have jumped off the wrong foot he's used to jumping off of, and I don't know if he jumped too early or too late. It just looked like he jumped off the wrong foot and didn't jump high enough.
And just didn't get any vertical that time, and the ball was a little too high and incomplete. So the Tigers will have it 4th down and 6, and if you're Live Oak, a big stop here, and they got a chance to go in this locker room at halftime only down 14-0. And that would be a big boost of confidence for the Eagles. This will be Sieber on a 5-step drop. Flash screen, and that was picked off. And probably should have been pass interference on the play, but they're going to not call it. Darren Bennett on the interception. And right there, looked like Joseph was hit before the ball got there, and the ball kicked away. Luke Butler with the interception. And again, Live Oak, Chase, they got a chance to just milk this clock out and go in only down 14-0.
Yeah, you're right. That was a big stop for him. The ball again was thrown high, and at first Joseph had caught it, but the big hit by Butler knocked the ball loose and went right in the hands of Bennett, and he returned it about 12 yards. And Live Oak may try to pull something out and see if they can get some points on the board via field goal or a touchdown and go in with a little momentum.
So that drive is thwarted by the Tigers. The aid of a penalty that called back an Andron Sieber touchdown run, and Tigers come away with no points. This will be the freshman Booth back to pass. He's going to be swarmed under and sacked for a loss of 7. And that's Copeland on the tackle for Independence. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 17.
Yeah, there's a little sprint out right there. Look, and Independence defensive line had so much penetration right there with Smith and Copeland coming from the backside, and finally ran him down before he could get a pass off.
So 2nd down and 17, and Live Oak, again, not a lot of offense in the ball game, but they've been able to stay on the field offensively, keep the clock moving, keep Independence's offense off the field. Got a key stop on the last Independence series, and they are playing one well of the ball game. Here's an inside trap, breaking a tackle into the Tigers secondary is Frank Abity. So the inside trap on the wing T look picks up about 10 or 15 yards. Caught 11 yards. Tigers call a timeout. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. So Live Oak not going away, and they are eager and determined to make a ball game out of this one tonight.
Yeah, you're right. They really played well the second quarter. The first quarter they didn't play that great, but they played a lot better the second quarter and driving a little bit here.
And here's Speck McClendon with a word from our sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by People's Bank of Louisiana, with 5 locations to serve you: Kentwood, Franklinton, Greensburg, Amite, and a new location now open in Hammond. That's People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC.
So 3rd down and 6 for Live Oak, and they are looking to convert here and keep that clock moving. Of course, they would really love to go in for a score. That's, I'm sure, what they're really aiming to do here. Ball in Tiger territory at the 49. Tigers looking for a big defensive stop. This is Booth on the pass. It's incomplete, broken up on the play by Phil Todoro, who got a hand on it, intended for Frank Abity, and the Eagles will be forced to punt it away once again, but again, you never know with them. They faked one earlier deep in their own territory, and if you're Sammy Messina, Charles Baglio and company, you got to guard against everything.
Yeah, right here, but I'm going to bet again they punt, try to put Independence deep in the territory with 1:56 left, make them drive most of the field in the 2-minute offense to get a touchdown before half.
Live Oak's going to go for it here, called Independence in their punt formation, so see what the Eagles do. Here's Booth, fires it incomplete. Tigers will have it at the 49. So, again, if you're Curtis Varnado, you have nothing to lose by going for it there because you're trying to get points, Chase. You want to keep that clock moving, and you figure Independence with their explosive offense, they can score from the 49 just as easy as they can score from the deep inside their own territory.
You're right, Mark, and that was a pretty good play call, too. They had a 4th and about 5 or 6, and ran a little out right there, but Anton Smith hammered Booth before he could even throw it, and the ball flailed off incomplete.
So Sieber will have his team at the line of scrimmage, ball at the 49. Back to pass on the out route, complete to Joseph, turns the corner and breaks outside to the 39-yard line, out of bounds for a 1st down, and that was Bourgeois on the tackle. And again, that is something that Independence does very well, that little 3-step out route to Lionel Joseph.
Yeah, and they do it. They got 3 or 4 receivers that run it real well, too. And with Siebert, as hard as he is to corral, when you get pressure on him, you're not going to get any pressure on him with that 3-step drop, and he's liable just to eat up a defense, pretty easy with those little 5-yard outs.
1:41 and counting. Tigers with the football on the march. Sieber on the straight, actually keeps the football this time, breaks outside. Ill-advised pitch to Jarvis Dunn, fumbles the football and falls on it. And Independence will have it after a gain of about 5, and that is not what you want to do if you're Antron Sieber. You just want to eat that ball. Probably that time Shea should have given it. He's having some trouble reading that veer here in the first half, and right there probably should have just gave the ball to Dawson.
Yeah, he had some running room, but I think he had stars in his eyes. That was the same play he scored on, and he got called back last time and made a bad pitch, but they recovered the fumble.
Sieber back to pass, and this one nearly intercepted by Luke Butler. So Sieber is having his troubles the last couple of possessions, was intercepted his last time Independence had a football, although no fault of his own. And that time, Butler was just hanging out right there in the route, and Sieber didn't see him, threw it right to him. Luckily, that one wasn't picked off for a touchdown. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 4, and the Tigers are scuffling a little bit offensively here. Here's Sieber on a 3-step drop, looking. He's going to take it straight up the middle, breaks outside, gets the 1st down to the 20-yard line, and he's stopped by Steve Drayton on the tackle. So Sieber, who didn't have anything on his first look, takes it right up the middle for the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good job by him. His receivers didn't come open right when he wanted to throw it, so he just tucked it under and ran right up the middle.
And the Tigers will down the football at the 20-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. If I'm not mistaken, Independence has 1 timeout remaining, and they want to save that in case they need it, should they be stopped in the field of play as the clock ticks down. 2nd down and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Tigers leading 14-0, and on the strength of a Brandon Dawson touchdown run, a block punt, and that's it. Here's Sieber on the fade route. This will be a touch. Oh, it's dropped. Lionel Joseph had it wide open in the back of the end zone, and the ball hit his shoulder pad and kicked away.
Yeah, there's really nothing he can do right there. He was open. The Sieber made a pretty good throw. It just happened to be 6 inches to the right, hit him in the shoulder pad, and he couldn't get his hands up there to catch it.
So it'll bring up 3rd down and 10, and Independence offensively has not done much here tonight, Chase, and that's very surprising. Live Oak coming in have struggled defensively this year, and Independence, of course, they've done a little things different here tonight. They've gone to some different formations and some different alignment situations, trying to take a look at some things, and they have not been crisp. Here's Sieber being pressured in the backfield, fumbles the football, picks it up, and he's going to be sacked. Breaks away, and he finally goes down. And that's probably going to do it here in the first half. Independence will have to call a timeout, though. And Independence looks like homecoming here tonight, Chase.
Yeah, you can tell the coaches hate homecoming. You know, they got other things on their mind. There's something a little different from the norm going on Friday nights, and right now they're I don't know if you can't call it not concentrating. They're just a little bit lackadaisical looking, not really fired up like they usually are, and but maybe after halftime and all the festivities is over with, they'll settle down and play the independent football that everybody's become accustomed to.
And you have to give Live Oak a lot of that credit, too. Every time somebody straps it on against the Tigers, Chase, they come to play, and a lot of times you'll have a tendency to, I won't call it flat, because Independence, they come out to play every game the same, and a lot of times their opponent comes out, they're a little bit jacked up, and they're playing, perhaps inspired football tonight, and they've done one whale of a job defensively. So the Tigers are going to have a long way to go here. 4th down and about 25 or 26 to go for the first down, and this is going to be a very tough piece of real estate to pick up. And with no timeouts remaining, they're going to probably have to come close to getting a touchdown. So no free safety in the field. They've probably got a deep post here if they want it. Here's Sieber, play action. And he's pressured again, fires it, has Joseph down there open, touchdown. And that's just what we talked about. The deep post was wide open, Chase. They have no free safety in the middle of the field, and that's one place you cannot leave exposed.
Yeah, especially Independence runs the deep post an awful lot, too. And they have those great receivers. And I've been watching Independence for 2 years now, and I've seen them run the deep post numerous of times, and that's just amazing to me. Why they wouldn't have, knowing they're going to pass, they still didn't have a free safety in, and it burned them.
Well, I guess they felt like the outer half of the field was more important to cover, and nonetheless, they get burned on it. Sieber threw a strike in the end zone. The ball traveled about 50 yards in the air. He'll try for the extra point. And it's up and no good again, but a flag is down, and Sieber has missed 2 extra points here tonight, but we'll see what the flag is. Tigers lead at 20-0, and let's see who it's on. Looks like it'll be on Independence, and it'll be declined, I think, and it will be. And with 8.9 seconds to play, the Tigers lead at 20-0. And here's Speck McClendon with some more of our sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works. Let Mike get you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. That's Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by People's Bank of Louisiana, with 5 locations to serve you: Kentwood, Amite, Greensburg, Franklinton, and a new location in Hammond. That's People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by the Amite Cinema. For movies and showtimes, phone 748-8114. Movies and showtimes, 748-8114. That's the Amite Cinema in the Tanzalina Village Shopping Center off Highway 16 in Amite.
Darnell Keith will be in the kick for the Tigers. He puts a pretty good foot into it. And on the return, this is number 32 for Live Oak. That is Frank Abity on the return, and that will run it down to 1 second to play in the first half. And that was a big hit down there by, I believe, Gerald Franklin on the tackle. And this will be the final play of the first half. So the Tigers have come out here in the first half and started out pretty quickly on defense. Got a big turnover, a block punt. A touchdown on a Brandon Dawson run. Blocked another punt for a touchdown. Charles Tofield on the recovery. And had one touchdown called back, a 48-yard run by Antron Sieber. And, of course, an interception. And then a 40-yard touchdown pass from Sieber to Lionel Joseph. That's your scoring here in the first half. So we'll take a break. You're watching Florida Parishes Television, Channel 17. Your score, Independence 20, Live Oak nothing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Homecoming 98. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the 1998 Independence High School Homecoming Court. First, we have Ms. Jacqueline Patterson. Jacqueline is a 15-year-old freshman. She is the daughter of Karen Bledson and the late Matthew Bledson. She is an honor student. Jacqueline attends New Hope Baptist Church. In the future, she plans to attend Xavier University and become a gynecologist to make her mother proud of her. Her hobbies are eating, listening to music, talking on the phone, and having fun. She also loves to shop and make new friends. Jacqueline is being escorted by her brother, Tyrese Patterson. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jacqueline Patterson. Our next member of the court is Miss Melanie Marie Rivers. Melanie is a 15-year-old freshman. She is the daughter of Norman and Debbie Rivers of Pickfall. She is a member of the LHSAA math club and is a cheerleading manager. Melanie is a member of Our Lady of Pompeii Catholic Church, where she is an altar server. In the future, she plans to attend LSU and major in nursing. Melanie's hobbies include shopping, playing soccer, talking on the phone, getting together with her friends, and attending IHS football games. For the past 6 years, she has enjoyed showing cows for 4-H. She is escorted by her father, Norman Rivers, Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Melanie Marie Rivers. Miss Consuela L. White. Consuela is a 15-year-old sophomore. She is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Alfred Shower, Sr. of Tickfaw. Consuela is a member of the Independence High School Band. She also attends Tabernacle of Praise Pentecostal Church. In the future, she plans to attend Georgetown University and major in law or medicine. Consuela's hobbies are singing, dancing, playing softball, talking on the phone, and shopping. Consuela is escorted by her father, Mr. Alfred Shower, Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Consuela L. White. Next member of our court is Miss Amanda Lynn Wallace. Amanda is a 15-year-old sophomore. She is the daughter of Douglas and Selma Wallace of Tickfaw. She is a member of the Math Club, Student Council, and a 2-year member of Tigerettes. In the future, Amanda plans to attend college to become a nurse. Her hobbies are spending time with her family and friends, talking on the phone, and dancing on Friday nights for her favorite high school team, the Indy Tigers. Amanda is escorted by her father, Douglas Wallace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Amanda Lynn Wallace. Miss Latoya Shanrika Washington. Latoya is a 16-year-old junior and the daughter of Maggie and Michael Wilson of Tickfaw. She is a current member of the IHS Youth Board. Latoya is a member of Mount Kingdom Baptist Church, where she is a member of the drill team, praise dance team, and president of the youth department. In the future, she plans to graduate from nursing school and get married. Her hobbies are working at Burger King, going to church, being with her family and friends, and just having fun. Latoya is escorted by her father, Michael Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Latoya Shanrika Washington. Next member of our court is Miss Jessica Ann Fuller. Jessica is a 16-year-old junior. She is the daughter of Pat and Valerie Fuller of New Albany. Jessica is a member of the math club, track team, and is a cheerleader. In the future, Jessica plans to attend college and become a successful businesswoman. Her hobbies are never staying home, talking on the phone, working hard on her gymnastics, and hanging out with her very close friends and family. Jessica is escorted by her father, Mr. Pat Fuller. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jessica Ann Fuller. Our next member of the court is Miss Alexis Taylor. Alexis is a 17-year-old senior and the daughter of Brenda Smith and the late Anthony Taylor. Alexis is a member of the Math Club, English Club, FBLA, Social Studies Club, National Honor Society, basketball, soccer, and track team. She is also a peer mediator. She is a member of Mount Timor Baptist Church and the Independence Community Choir. Her future plans are to attend North Carolina State University and become a physical therapist. Alexis' hobbies are playing sports and talking on the phone. She is escorted tonight by her uncle, Antoine Smith Sr. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Alexis Taylor. Next senior member of the court is Miss Carrie Lynn Fleming. Carrie is a 17-year-old senior and the daughter of Carrie and Shirley Fleming of Independence. She is a member of the band and is now serving as drum majorette. In the future, Carrie plans to attend college and major in music. Her hobbies are talking on the phone and spending time with her friends. Carrie is escorted by her father, Carrie Fleming. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Carrie Lynn Fleming. Next senior member of the court is Miss Tyra Egon Cook. Tyra is a 17-year-old senior and the daughter of Sam and Lisa Cook of Independence. Tyra has been a member of STARS, Math, Social Studies, English Club, and a one-year member of the National Honor Society. Tyra is also a member of the track, basketball, and soccer team. She is a member of Mount Olive Baptist Church and the Independence Community Choir. In the future, she plans to attend LSU or Nicholls State and major in sports medicine and play college soccer. Her hobbies are playing all sports, dancing, singing, watching TV, sleeping, and talking on the phone. Tyra is escorted by her father, Sam Cook. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tyra Egon Cook. Our next member of the court is Ms. Erin Michelle Costa. Erin is a 17-year-old senior. She is the daughter of Joseph and Andrea Costa of Independence. She is a member of the Math Club, National Honor Society, and a 3-year member of the cheerleading squad. Erin is a member of Monte de la Rosa Catholic Church. In the future, she plans to attend Southeastern Louisiana University and major in nursing. Her hobbies are shopping, spending time with friends, and cheering for the Tigers. Erin is escorted by her father, Mr. Joseph Costa. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Erin Michelle Costa. At this time, we would like to introduce Miss Christy Javinko, our homecoming queen for 1997, who will relinquish her crown. She will relinquish her crown and reign as homecoming queen. She will also crown our new queen. Miss Javinko has served and reigned with pride and honor, and we want to thank her for such a splendid job as homecoming queen and representing Independence High School. And now the envelope, please. And here's the envelope. As principal of Independence High School, I'm proud to present these 4 young ladies to you as our senior court. Any one of these young ladies will represent the school well and make a wonderful homecoming queen. However, only one of you can reign as our homecoming queen. One of you will serve as a runner-up. You will serve in place of the queen should for some reason she be unable to reign. Once again, congratulations to each of you, and I know that this moment is precious to you. All senior maids, please take one step forward. First, I will announce the runner-up. The runner-up for the 1998 homecoming queen selected by vote of your peers is Miss Tyra Cook. Congratulations, Tyra. And now, the moment we're waiting for, the 1998 homecoming queen, selected by the vote of your peers, Miss Erin Costa. Congratulations, Erin. Students and staff alike have enjoyed a festive homecoming week that included Spirit Week, the homecoming parade, a door decorating contest, balloonograms, and each cheerleader chose a senior football player as her spirit pal for the week. At this time, we'd like to announce the winners of the door contest. First place, Industrial Arts Department, David Mora, teacher. Second place, Science Language Department, Denise Howell, teacher. Third place, Keyboarding Department, Cheryl Santangelo, teacher. Fourth place, Special Education Department, Coach Joe Brown, teacher. Competition was tough. Thanks to all who participated. Also, a special thanks to our judges, Mrs. Katie Sims.
Mark Willoughby, Chase Tidwell, Speck McClendon, and Garrett Crawford back with you live from Tiger Stadium on the campus of Independence High School. We're at homecoming. Independence leading this ball game by a score of 20-0, and have homecoming festivities going on tonight. Miss Erin Costa is your homecoming queen for the Independence Tigers, 1998. And Chase, the first half, Independence didn't really have the football very much. Made the most of it when they did throw the one interception. But Live Oak played pretty well as the second half kick will come down to Charles Tofield. And it'll go in the end zone, so that'll go dead at the 20-yard line. So it does cross the goal line. But Independence played well defensively, but Chase, they just didn't have the football in the first half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I heard people talking at halftime about how the offense has struggled and this and that, but they didn't even have the ball long enough to really get in the groove in the first half. I mean, they only ran a couple handful of offensive plays in the first in the first half because they had such good field position but maybe they got a long drive here. They get clicking, you know, and things will go better for them.
And again, Independence doing some experimentation in the first half with some different looks offensively as they come out in that I formation with Dawson at fullback. And again, that's something that they really need to work on for playoff time. So if you're an Independence fan and you're wondering what's going on as Dawson takes the dive for about 1 or 2 yards, Tigers trying to get some work in as Cody Como makes the tackle for Live Oak.
Yeah, they come out in the same formation they started the game in with Dawson at fullback, and right there he ran off the tackle, and he really got hammered by Como right there. I heard a little thud right there.
Now Independence is going to go back to what they do best, and they're going to bring Ken Benitez into the ball game. They go with Dawson as a one back, and right now they're going to go back to what they've been doing all year long. Here is Sieber on the zone stretch. This is Dawson, big running room, powers his way up for a first down. And Chase, that's the offense as Darren Bennett and Chance Turner make the tackle, but that's the offense that Independence has been running all year. And as you see, they pick up 12, and that's what they're comfortable with.
Yeah, it's just a level of comfort right there. You know, they've been doing it for 7 games now, 8 games, and they're used to it, they're comfortable with it, and therefore they're going to play better in that formation.
But again, I like what they're doing with the new wrinkle with Dawson at fullback. I think that's going to be big for him in the playoffs. Here's Dawson again, right side. He'll bounce outside and has close to a first down out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Bennett and Butler on the tackle for Live Oak. Also Shane Landry for the Live Oak Eagles. But Dawson, who picked up 10 on his last carry, comes back with 8, and he'll bring up second down and 2.
Yeah, that was the exact same play. The only difference is Dawson bounced outside this time instead of cutting it back inside like he did last time. It's about second and 2.
Dawson, consequently, in this ball game on his first carry, went over 1,000 yards for the season. And that is a long line of 1,000-yard rushers for the Tigers. Dawson breaks the tackle, still running hard into the secondary, pounding into Eagle territory. Landry again on the tackle along with Bennett. But right there you see Dawson. A lot of people compare him to Jerome Bettis, the bus, and the bus has started here in the second half.
Yeah, he's built a little bit like a bus, too. You know, he's big, wide, short to the ground. He's got that low center of gravity. It's hard to bring down one-on-one as he ran over number 17, John Jackson, right there. And he's had a great year.
No doubt about it. As we said, over 1,000 yards. Here's the zone to the left. Nice block by Cooper on the left side. Dawson turns the corner, pounding his way out of bounds. And the ball is fumbled, and they are going to say it's out of bounds. So Independence will keep the football, or will they? That ball was laying on the sideline over there, and let's see who they give it to. Looked like Independence fell back on it. So Dawson picked up about 12 on the carry. It was Winters on the tackle. But Dawson has come out here in the second half, and on 3 carries has over 40 yards to his credit.
Yeah, and I'm afraid the Eagles' defense is going to get a steady diet of Brandon Dawson here in the second half. And they're going to keep Independence. They're up by 3 scores, and they're going to keep the clock running. And if he keeps getting 8, 10, 12, 15 yards a carry, they're going to keep giving it to him.
And again, no free safety in the middle of the field for Live Oak. Here is Dawson. Seaver on the keep, looks for a block from Joseph, gets it, and he's going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown from 33 yards away, and that was a beautiful play fake there by Antron Sieber. Really sold the dive to Dawson. Defensive end clamped down, and Sieber took it, and there was nobody home as Sieber turned the corner and motored 33 yards for the touch.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about in the first half to pick your poison. That time they stuffed Dawson up inside, and Sieber ran around in and really just jogged into the end zone. There wasn't anybody even close.
So that puts the Tigers up by a score of 26-0. Again, if you can view the scoreboard on the screen, it is inoperable. Score is 26-0, and Sieber's missed 3 PATs in a row, and He's missed them all off to the left. So Antron Sieber, who's normally very reliable when he can get the kick off, has come up empty on 3-point after touchdowns. But nonetheless, your score, Independence 26, Live Oak nothing. Here's Speck McClendon for some words from our sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC, with 5 locations to serve you, located in Kentwood, Greensburg, Franklinton, Amite, and Hammond. That's People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence. Let Mike get you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. Mike's Glass and Radiator Works.
Antron Sieber to kick for the Tigers, puts a foot into it. This one will come up short at about the 3. It'll be returned by Bourgeois, I believe, and he is hit by one defender, shakes a tackle, and is stopped there by Mike Washington, and a flag is down, and I believe they're going to get the Tigers for a late hit. Looks like Carlos Spears may have came in a little bit late. And let's see who they do call this flag on, and they're going to have to sort it out. Nonetheless, a nice open field tackle there by Mike Washington. So Chase, to recap this ball game, it started out with Live Oak picking up a couple of first downs in the first drive via penalty, and eventually punted to Independence, had it blocked, and the Tigers recovered at the 17. 2 carries later, Brandon Dawson was in the end zone for a touchdown. Live Oak got the football back again, punted again. The punt was also blocked into the end zone this time. Charles Tofield recovered. And then right before the half, Antron Sieber found Lionel Joseph 40 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it's really been all Independent, especially defense. Their defense has played well. They got that good leadership up front with Smith and Tofield on the corners. Good cornerbacks. They're just stuffing a run, and when Live Oaks tried to pass, they have also stopped the pass.
Luke Butler carries on first down for about 1 yard into the teeth of the Tiger defense. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. And, of course, the last touchdown was scored by Antron Sieber, who carried it 33 yards for the Tiger touchdown. So 9-12 and counting here in the third quarter. Tigers on top in this one, 26-0. Live Oak is played very game here tonight. They have done what they had to do to try to stay in this ball game, and unfortunately for them, the Tigers have been able to use their athletic ability to sprint out to a 26-0 lead, and this is going to be no flag is thrown. Now it's down, and the officials, Chase, officials got to blow a whistle on that. The runner started toward the line of scrimmage, and they left the quarterback out to. So Frank Abity jumped, but they left the quarterback out to hang there.
Yeah, I mean that was obvious. It happened a good second and a half, 2 seconds before the snap even started, and I guess they got a lockjaw or something and didn't blow the whistle. But the flag come down after the snap, but the Tigers decline it.
So Booth is lucky he didn't get his clock cleaned by Charles Tofield, who alertly didn't hear a whistle, and he went in and made the tackle. But nonetheless, the penalty is declined, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 11. And that's a play where you just got to blow the whistle, and it's that obvious. 3rd down and 11. 8.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Tigers on top. Here's the inside trap going nowhere. Stopped for a loss. That's Winters on the carry. He's stopped by Kenny Lands, who makes the tackle for the Tigers. Loss on the play, and Live Oak on their first possession goes 3 and out. Tigers will get it back once again, and Chase, this is something that we've seen all night long. Live Oak lining up in punt formation.
Yeah, they're not passing the ball much. I don't know if it's because of the inexperience of the freshman quarterback, or maybe they just don't like to throw it. It's not in their game plan, and so they've been running, and the Independence front 7 has done a good job.
And they're going to go for this, Chase, or no, they won't. Quarterback, look, you're lined up under center, and they do snap it deep. Nice punt by Efferson, and it will roll and stop dead at the 31-yard line where the Tigers will put it in play. So a very nice punt by Efferson, and that one will carry some 36 yards and out of bounds. Tigers will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a pretty good punt. They punted away from Best. Best was back there in punt formation. They kicked away towards the sideline. Going to try to play a little field position right here. Make the Tigers drive the length of the field.
So Sieber back in at quarterback. Tigers at the 31, 1st and 10. Dawson is your tailback. This will be Sieber. Play action. Looking. Fires it over the middle. Intercepted. And just an ill-advised throw by Antron Sieber as Bennett picks it off. He threw it right into triple coverage, Chase, and pass just wasn't there.
Yeah, they again, Bennett lined up close to the line of scrimmage. Looked like there was no free safety again. And but he dropped back in coverage, and they threw the ball to where they thought the receiver was going to be, and Bennett was there instead of the receiver.
Something you probably see, well, actually, I'm not sure, well, maybe once in his career. It's the first time Antron Sieber has been intercepted twice in one game. And, or maybe the second time. I think he had one other 2-interception game in his career. That is something that does not happen very often. So Live Oak with the turnover, and they are in business at the 49-yard line. This will be Booth. Fires it out, incomplete. Intended for Frank Abity. On the coverage was Devarius Best. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Booth threw a pretty good ball right there. Very catchable ball. Abity's really got to come up with that. Just off his hands. And at least he tried to catch it with his hands, and what you're supposed to do as a receiver, but he just couldn't get the grasp on the ball, and it fell incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 49-yard line. Tigers up 26-0 in the 3rd quarter. Although this is a tape delay broadcast, it looks like A-Meat will win that ball game in Franklinton tonight. They're up 19-2 late in the 3rd quarter in that ball game. Here's Booth on the give, and being tackled from behind is Adam King. And a nice play there by Derek Hunter, I believe, who caught him around the leg.
Yeah, that was a nice play on both sides. Really, King really ran hard right there on the quick hitter. Picked up about 4, and now the Eagles got another 3rd and long situation with 3rd and 6.
The Eagles, who have tried to pull out every play out of their playbook here tonight, let's see if they have a play to go to here as they spread out 4 wides. Booth under center, lone setback. Turn and hands off for no gain, maybe 1, is the lone setback Abity, and he forges ahead for about a half a yard. Kenny lands on the tackle, and it'll bring up 4th down. That was King on the carry, correction. It'll bring up 4th and 5, and last time or one other time in the ball game, Live Oak chose to fake a punt. They've also gone on hard count, and both times they've been successful.
Yeah, you're right. And they got 4th and 5 right now, and when they faked it earlier, they had 4th and 5 and picked up about 8 or 9, got the 1st down. But they're lined up in punt formation now.
So Efferson in punt formation, and they're going to fake it. This is Booth, fires it. It's complete, but he'll be stopped short of the 1st down. And Chase, that was so obvious as Chance Turner was tackled. That was obvious they were going to fake that punt.
Yeah, the quarterback's been lining up under center every time in punt formation, and when they snap it deep, they just snap it through his legs. And that time, he took the ball from center and threw a little pass out in the flat right there, and it was stuffed, and Tigers get the ball back.
So good recognition by the Tigers. They'll have it 1st and 10, ball at the 44. Last time the Tigers had the football, Sieber intercepted on 1st down. Sieber on the give to Dawson. Big running room, straight up the middle. Powers into the secondary, dragging the pile. And he's still on his feet, still dragging, and he is down to the 35. And that's Butler on the tackle, but Brandon Dawson picks up 21, also Landry. But Chase, what a mountain of a man Brandon Dawson is.
He really is. I mean, that just shows you right there how hard he is to tackle. He had 5, 6 Live Oak Eagles on his back, and he was still moving forward. And I bet he carried 3 or 4 of them on his back for the last 4 yards of that carry.
So 5.5 minutes to play the third quarter. Dawson on the carry. Dunn checks back in the ball game. He'll get the football here, makes a nice move, and he fumbles the football, and driving to catch, recovered is Live Oak. And that's going to be Shane Landry who recovers the Jarvis Dunn fumble, and that has been the one problem that Dunn has had when he has gotten in the ball games. Chase, he's had trouble keeping a handle on the football, and he fumbles again there, but he will be one heck of a running back. He just needs to get a little bit stronger. And you saw the nice cut as he got through the hole. Looked like a dart running through there. Just had the ball knocked away, but he will be one heck of a running back before his career is over here at Independence.
Yeah, you're right. I really like the looks of him. And right there, he had good running room and made a couple of guys miss, and he got hit head on and looked like put the helmet right on the ball and kind of squirted out from under his arm right there. But he'll learn. He'll learn to tuck that thing away a little bit tighter, and he's going. You're right. He's going to be a great running back.
The Tigers' third turnover of the night. Here's a toss sweep, cutting it up for about 5 yards. Is Tim Winters, or correction, that'll only be about 2 yards on the carry, and looked like he cut it up for more than that, but the speed of that Independence defense closed the hole down, and he only picked up 2.
Yeah, the backside pursuit got him right there. He made a good cutback, had a little running room, and looked for a split second, but backside pursuit again, ate him up and brought him down. We'll give him 2.
So Live Oak has managed to keep the score down anyway in this ball game, 26-0, and they have used some ball control offense and an opportune on a couple of turnovers. Here's a complete pass for no gain, maybe a loss to Frank Abity, but out there to make the tackle was Ty Keith Smith, I believe, for the Tigers. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 7. And the big thing with Live Oak, Chase, they just don't have the speed to be able to stretch this Independence defense at all. And when they can get a pass off, the receivers are only about a yard or 2 downfield.
Yeah, like right there, they run only a handful of passing plays, not 4 or 5 at the most, and they run the same pattern every time. And Independence was guessing a little bit with them and hitting the receiver right when he catches the ball for short gains or no gains at all.
So 3rd down and 7 for the Eagles. Here's a 3-step drop. Pass is thrown. It's incomplete, or they'll call it complete. It'll be about a yard short of the 1st down to Jeff Bourgeois as he made a sliding catch at about the 31, and he's going to be a yard short. And let's see if Live Oak decides to go for it or not. They have sent the punting team on the field, and you could probably, Chase, they're going to go on a hard count, or they might fake it again.
Yeah, you can't tell. They've been unpredictable pretty much tonight. They've punted a couple times. They punted 4 times. 2 of them were blocked. They faked twice. Hard count a couple times. So they may try to hard count them here or a long count anyway. See if that ANC defensive line jumps off and gives them another 1st down.
Tigers have 9 at the line. They fake it again, as we said, and that was just pretty obvious. Chase, they know they're having trouble punting the ball. They've had 2 blocked, and they just soon give Independence the ball to 25 and let them drive it 60 yards.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said in the first half, they really have nothing to lose. Right there, they try to run a little quarterback keeper off tackle right there, and I think it was Kenny Lands got penetration and made the stop. He was the first one there.
So Independence with a football at the 27. After the 3rd fake punt of the ball game by Live Oak, and the last 2 have been snuffed out for nothing. So Sieber back in the ball game with Dawson at tailback. Here's the zone. Dawson, big hole again, runs over one defender, another one down to the 17. Adam King on the tackle, but not before Dawson picks up close to 10 yards. Call it 9, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and a long 1.
Now there again, Mark, they put Dawson back in the backfield, single back. Their bread and butter they've been using all year. And the offense just seems to click a little bit better in that formation.
Tigers have turned the ball over a couple of times tonight, and that has thwarted a couple of touchdowns. Here's inside reverse to Lionel Joseph. He'll break inside and down inside the 10 to the 5. So Joseph on a little wrinkle they put in last week. Shane Landry on the tackle, and Joseph, who is an outstanding weapon with a football, and he shows he can run with the ball too.
Yeah, that's right. He's such a great athlete and has such great speed. You got to find different ways to get guys like that the ball, and you just seen one of the many ways you can get Joseph the ball.
And a timeout is called by Live Oak. 1:39 to play in the third quarter. Your score: Independence 26, Live Oak nothing. Here's Speck McClendon.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by the Amite Cinema, located in the Tangelina Village Shopping Center off Highway 16 in Amite. For movies and showtimes, phone 748-8114. Movies and showtimes, phone 748-8114. Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works. Let Mike have you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. It's Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence.
First down and goal, Independence. Ball at the 5-yard line. Sieber calls for it, hands it to Dawson. He stutter steps and is down to the 2. And Dawson, who trying to make a cut there, stopped by Bennett. Dawson has a bum ankle. He has it heavily taped. And right there, looks a little bit ginger making the cut. And he's down to the 2 or the 1-yard line.
Yeah, that's right. He looked like he slowed down a lot when he tried to make that cut to the outside right there. And Live Oak tackled him, but they're going to pound it into the end zone probably right here.
So Benitez in at fullback, and you could probably look for Dawson on this play. This is Dawson on the give, and he's into the end zone as he runs over. Like he ran over number 12, and that was Luke Butler who met him in the hole, but Dawson won that battle.
That's just hard. It's hard Dawson running right there, and another touchdown. You can't really say much right there. They just got on that drive they got a dose of Brandon Dawson. 6 more points for the Tigers.
So Anton Sieber in for the extra point, and he'll try to make it a 33-0 ball game with just a little bit less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Lionel Joseph will hold, and Sieber trying to make one here. This one will be up, and looks like this one is in. So Sieber, who had a bad snap to deal with there. Lionel Joseph doing a good job of catching the ball and getting it on the tee, and Sieber punched it through.
Yeah, that was a real good job by Joseph right there. He had to come completely out of his crouch to catch the snap and got it back down and just right in time for Sieber to kick it through the uprights.
So your score with 57 seconds to play the third quarter is Independence 33, Live Oak nothing. Here's Speck McClendon.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC, with 5 locations to serve you: Kentwood, Greensburg, Franklinton, Amite, and Hammond. That's People's Bank of Louisiana, member FDIC. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by the Amite Cinema in the Tangelina Village Shopping Center in Amite, just off Highway 16. For movies and showtimes, phone 748-8114, 748-8114 for movies and showtimes.
Sieber's kick, a line drive, will be taken by Bourgeois at the 3. He'll come up the middle on the return, has a seam, breaks into the secondary, and is hit by Sieber at the 35. And not only can he run with it, throw it, but he can also make some tackles too.
Yeah, that's right. He was the safety valve there, and good thing he was, because Bourgeois had a seam right there, and if Sieber wouldn't have been there, he probably would have scored. And Sieber come out with a big hit right there. That was a big-time hit.
If you ask Antron, if you talk to him, what does he like to do best, he probably would tell you that right there. He likes to hit people, and he came in with authority and laid a lick on Bourgeois, and he's down at the 35. Live Oak with the ball, 1st and 10, with 47 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Here is a give up the middle, breaking a tackle into the secondary for a first down is Luke Butler. That's the first down of the second half for the Live Oak Eagles. And again, Live Oak finding a way to get a little hole as we
And their own 37-yard line.
Live Oak gets through there for a first down, and we're being shaken all over the place up here on the press box, and if you know where we are, that's not very good. First down and 10, ball at the 47. Here's a give straight ahead for about 1 or 2. Hunter and Todora on the tackle for Independence. Also Kenny Lands on the play, and that was King on the carry. Gets 2 to midfield, second down and 8. Now it's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Your score, Independence 33, Live Oak nothing. We'll take a break. You're watching Florida Parishes Television on Channel 17. Second down, 8 yards to go for Live Oak. Ball at midfield as we enter the fourth quarter. Here is a give, and that is Butler on the carry. He gets into Tiger territory to the 49, and that's about it. Gain of 1. It'll bring up third down and 7. Tiger defense continuing to be stingy, Chase. They have played well here tonight.
Yeah, they really have. Live Oaks come out and try to run the ball all night long. And at times they've had pretty good runs. Like a couple plays before that, he had that big 11-yard run for first down. But I'd say 8 times out of 10 running plays, the Tigers are stopping them for minimum yardage.
So third down and call it a long 7. Here is on the option, that is the quarterback who is stopped. That is Booth on the carry. No gain. A flag is down. Or is there? No flag on the play. It'll bring up fourth down, but Ryan Joseph is down on the play and hurt. And he's going to have to come off the field. And that's an injury. If you're Coach Baglio, you could afford to have Joseph a stalwart in that linebacking core, and it looks like he may have a shoulder or perhaps a stinger coming off the field.
Yeah, he's walking off holding his arm close to the right side of his body. Oh, you never know what really happened. It looks like he's going to be all right, though. He's trying to shake it off right now.
So Epperson in the punt for Live Oak. Back deep to receive Otto Bonds for the Tigers. Good snap. He'll put a big foot into it. A beautiful high-hanging punt that Bonds will let go over his head. He'll pick it up at the 10. Looks for some running room, shakes the tackle, still on his feet, has the sidelines. Otto Bonds is still on his feet, reverses field, and will be down at the 40-yard line. And a vicious lick by Sean Tanner on the sideline, and that one we could hear all the way up here, Chase Tidwell.
You're right. That's what you call a pancake block. He knocked him right on his backside. And we did hear it all the way up there. Otto Bonds had a real good run back right there. He made defenders miss, tight roped the sideline, and got a gain of probably about 30 yards on the return.
So Sieber into the ball game here, and it's probably his last series of the ball game, and Charles Tofield will check in at tailback for Independence, and he's always exciting with a football. Here's Sieber back to pass. He'll fire, and it's tipped by Luke Butler. And Sieber has had some good throws tonight, Chase, but this hadn't been one of his better nights throwing the football right there. He just didn't quite get it over the hand of the defender, Luke Butler.
Yeah, Butler has done a good job tonight. That's 2 he's batted down and getting in the passing lanes. He's taking away Sieber's lanes to the receivers, and he's batted down 2 tonight.
So second down and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Sieber gives to Tofield, and he'll be stopped for a gain of about 1 or 2. So Tofield with his first carry of the year, and Chase, a lot of Tiger fans have not had a chance to see Charles Tofield with a football, but I tell you what, in a scrimmage here before the season against Bogalusa, he really put on a show, but went down with an ankle injury, missed the first 5 games of the season.
Yeah, he's a different type of running back as Dawson is. He's a lot smaller, but he's a lot faster too. And he's not going to be the big bruiser. He's going to be the kind of guy that makes people miss and runs around people.
Here's Tofield on the carry as the corner, and he hammers it up for the first down to about the 47-yard line. Stopped by Tim Winters and Steve Drayton for Live Oak. And that's what Tofield can do for you. He has a tremendous burst of speed when he touches the football.
Yeah, you're right. Right there, he took the ball, and he was at full speed in about 2 steps and beat the Live Oak defense around the end and picked up about 9 yards and a first down for the Tigers.
$9:15 to play in the ball game and counting. Tigers in front of this one, 33-0. Here's Sieber, 3-step drop, fires it, complete. That's Joseph, and that'll be a complete for about 5 yards. Stopped by Bourgeois. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 5. And a lot of people may be wondering, why is Independence throwing the football? It's 33-0 lead in the 4th quarter. They need to get sharp for the playoffs, no question about it. You have Salmon next week, and there's some things they really want to get worked on before the playoff stretch run.
Yeah, you're right. And Salmon's got a good football team, too, and that would be a great boost for them going into the playoffs to go to Salmon and beat a very good team.
Dawson on the carry, hammers it forward for about 10 or 11 yards, and another Tiger first down. And John Jackson on the tackle. Independence wants to put another good drive together as they close out this ball game. And a lot of folks may think you're trying to run up the score, but that's not the case at all. You're trying to work on your ball club, and that's more important than what the score of the football game is. First down and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Here's Sieber, counter sweep to Tofield. He has it up the middle and good enough for another first down to the 20-yard line, or close to it. And the Tigers continuing to pound the ball on the ground. Luke Butler again on the tackle. He's had a ton of tackles here tonight. 7.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Tigers with a lot of substitutions up front along the offensive line. Tigers also have another outstanding young tailback by the name of Gerald Williams we talked about earlier. We've yet to see him tonight, but he is very exciting with the ball as well. Here's Tofield on the carry, sweeps it around left side down to the 20 or the 12-yard line for about 8 yards. Drayton and Turner on the tackle. And give Tofield 8 on the carry, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 2. And Chase, Tigers doing with multiple ball carriers here tonight.
Yeah, they got a whole stable full of thoroughbreds back there in that backfield, and they're showing them all off tonight.
Here's Dawson on the trap up the middle, breaking a tackle, and he has the first down to the 6 or 7. And that will be good enough for a Tiger first down. First and goal is Jackson. John Jackson on the tackle for Live Oak. And the Tigers marching toward the goal line once again, leading at 33-0. And Chase had one touchdown call back in the first half. A big run by Antron Sieber. Had a couple of turnovers in the ball game, but really they've played well offensively tonight.
Yeah, they have. They didn't have the ball very much in the first half. Didn't get clicking, but they've had the ball a lot here in the second half, and they really got it clicking now.
And Tofield sweeps around right side, and the obligatory flag comes in, and I don't know what that was on, but that's a tough call. When anytime you're driving the football and you start a drive deep in your territory and you drive it inside the red zone, it's not good to throw a holding call right there, and that's, maybe it happened, but that's really a tough call. Nonetheless, they throw the flag, and the Tigers will be backed up. And that's just a tough call on an offense. You drive the ball down the field, and you throw it when they get inside the 10, and that's what Coach Baggs is screaming about on the sidelines. Sieber on play action has Joseph wide open if he hits him, but doesn't find him. Now he reverses field. And he still has Joseph wide open, fires it, touchdown Tigers as Joseph makes the catch. 20 yards on the touchdown reception from Lionel Joseph from Antron Sieber. And that shows you the athletic ability of Antron Sieber, and amazing play.
Yeah, he ran 50 yards before he even threw the ball. He ran it on the right sideline and a left sideline. And Joseph did a good job. He was lined up on the right side of the line of scrimmage and ran a pattern and was covered well. When he seen Sieber reverse his field, he made a cutback, ran towards Sieber, and Sieber found him in the back of the end zone. 6 points, Tigers.
So Sieber on for the extra point. Chance to tack on to the lead, kicks it up, and it's right down the middle. And your score with 5:27 to play in the ball game is Independence 40 and Live Oak nothing. And we'll take a break. You're watching Florida Parishes Television, Channel 17. Mark Willoughby, Chase Tidwell back from Tiger Stadium. 40-0 is your score. Independence leads it as Darnell Keith will kick off for Independence. Antron Sieber probably done for tonight. Keith puts a big foot into it. This one's going to take Bourgeois Butler to the 2, and he has a little bit of a seam up to about the 26-yard line where the Eagles will have it 1st and 10, 5:18 to play. And on the tackle was Carlos Spears for Independence.
Yeah, pretty good coverage by the Tiger special teams there. Got down there, the kick didn't go into the end zone. It's a pretty good kick. But ran right up the middle, and Tigers got him down. See what Live Oak can do with the ball, see what they're going to do with 5 minutes left.
Live Oak has been unable to get anything going offensively here tonight. They have patched together a few first downs in the ball game, a couple of them via penalty, but they have, for the most part, been unable to get anything sustained offensively. Here is a give to Tim Winters on the carry, gets about 1 or 2 yards and nothing more. Stopped by Devarius Best, and will bring up 2nd down and 8 as the clock ticks under 5 minutes to play. .443 and counting. Live Oak trying to at least try to march and put something on the scoreboard. They've been able to get across midfield tonight. Here is a vicious hit in the backfield by Kenny Lands on Tim Winters, who's hit for a loss. And that will bring up 3rd down. So Independence rotating some guys in defensively, and they have played well on that side of the football tonight. Also played well offensively. Have had some mistakes, but for homecoming, all things considered, you got to be happy if you're a Tiger fan.
Yeah, you're right. They've really broken out here in the second half. They played a little bit lackadaisical in the first half. I don't know if they had homecoming on their mind or not, but like I said in the first half, after halftime, all that stuff's over with. You can come out and play football.
Here's Booth on a 3-step drop, fires it incomplete. Nice play there by the Tigers, number 88. That is Landry Richardson, who made a nice defensive play, jumping in front of Darren Bennett on the slant play. And it'll bring up 4th down and 9 with 3:32 and running. As officials are going to keep that clock running here to 40-0. And a lot of times when the score gets out of hand, Chase, they just kind of go ahead and wind that clock down, even with the incomplete pass.
Yeah, it's 40-0. It's all over, but they're just trying to get out of here with a little bit earlier tonight.
Epperson's kick is a line drive, which will be fielded by Mike Washington, who's returning the kick at the 35. Breaks a tackle and is spun around and down at the 50-yard line, so the Tigers will have it there at midfield. And the younger bunch will be in the ball game. And we'll probably see Dustin Signorelli in the ball game at quarterback for the Tigers as new faces enter. Actually, it'll be Don Alak who comes in to quarterback the Tigers. 2:51 to play And a timeout is called by Independence. And with that timeout, we'll hand it over to Speck McClendon for some words from our fine sponsors.
Tonight's game being brought to you in part by Mike's Glass and Radiator Works. Let Mike have you back on the road in no time, whether it's radiator repair, windshield repair, or just your annual inspection sticker. That's Mike's Glass and Radiator Works, just off Highway 51 in Independence. You're watching Channel 17, FPTV.
Please remember to vote for Ernie J, number 29, on Tuesday, November 3rd, 1998.
Mark Willoughby, Chase Tidwell back with you from Tiger Stadium. Tigers' new faces of the ball game. Don Alak comes in to quarterback the Tigers. Hands it off, and a flag is thrown before the snap. Looked like the Tigers were moving prematurely as new faces are in, and they jump on the play. They'll be penalized 5 yards. And it'll bring up 1st and 15. And Gerald Williams, who we talked about earlier, checks into the ball game at tailback for Independence. And Williams, north and south type of runner. He's a good-looking player. Alak gives. This is Williams. Breaks into the secondary and spins and is stopped there after a gain of about 7. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. And the Tigers continuing to substitute liberally here as the clock ticks down in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, these young guys, they deserve to play a lot. They're in practice every day running the scout teams. And they deserve to play in games like this. And it's really helps them out. It really rewards them, and they get a little playing time. Zalak pitches to Dunn, and looks like he lost about 3 yards on the play right there.
Chase with a chance to do one play of play-by-play. He did a nice job. 3rd down and 9. Ball at the 49-yard line. Minute and a half to play in the ball game. Alak snaps and gives the ball to Williams, and he hustles through the line and has about 5. Make it 3 or 4 yards. It'll bring up 4th down and about 6. As the clock runs down, and the Tigers will go for it here, and that'll be just about it, as the clock will be under 1 minute when this ball is snapped. Fourth down and 5. Alak takes the snap, drops back to pass, fires it incomplete, intended out there for Justin Richardson, falls incomplete, and Live Oak will take over on downs, and that will just about do it here. And it looks like Independence is going to win this football game. Of course, the only question is by what score. Will Live Oak be able to mount a rally here and get a touchdown, or will Independence get the shutout?
Well, they got to go 54 yards in 41 seconds, and way they've been chipping away at it all night, it don't look like they're going to get in the end zone.
And we got a final on that LaRanger game. LaRanger beating Springfield in overtime by a score of 17-14. What a whale of a ball game that must have been in Livingston Parish. Here is a give, and getting about 2 or 3 yards is the tailback. That's number 40 on the carry, Tim Winters. He gets about 3 yards, and it'll tick down inside 30 seconds. And Live Oak will probably only be able to get off one more play before the ball game is over. Here's the give to the fullback. He has a first down, and that will be the final play of the ball game. And the Tigers have won homecoming 1998 over Live Oak by a score of 40-0. Chase Tidwell, it was a methodical game for the Tigers with good defense and a sound running game tonight. Also, the passing of Antron Sieber, the recipe that gives the Tigers the victory every Friday night.
Yeah, you're right. And if you had to hand out a most valuable player, I would have to say it's the defensive front seven. So every one of them of the Independence defense, they did a heck of a job tonight.
That's going to do it here from Independence Tiger Stadium. Once again, your final score, Independence 40, Live Oak nothing. Next week we will be with you from, I believe,
We've got St. Thomas, Aquinas playing Newman is next week, as well as we'll have the Hammond game. We'll also have the Ponchatoula game, and we'll have one other game that we'll announce next week.
And you heard it from Speck McClendon. And for Speck McClendon, Garrett Crawford, Chase Tidwell, I'm Mark Willoughby, bidding you a pleasant good evening. You've been watching Florida Parish's Television, Channel 17. See you next week.